Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. I haven't been on here in so long. It's been too long. Thank you, Mr. Carey, for the birthday wishes. Hey, Mr. Dukes. Hey, nephew. Lord. What is he doing? What are you doing in this neck of the woods? I just seen TT Taylor and Sam's Club in Madison. What you doing in these neck of the woods? Y'all ready for the smoke? Are y'all ready for the smoke? All right. We're going to get right on into it. I'm not going to waste your time because it's Thursday night. You know, some of us got to get up in the morning. I'm one of them. Thank God I was able. Braxton's bedtime is at 8:30. He was able to go to sleep in 15 minutes. That's what I was mostly worried about, right? So Braxton just started school. His first day back was Tuesday. Getting him in that routine of going to bed at 8:30. I was scared that he would be awake. And then if he's awake while I'm on the podcast, he'll stay up the whole entire time. And you know we like to talk. You ain't gonna find me up in Madison, baby. And I missed y'all too. See, y'all ready for it too. Y'all ready already. All right. So on the side, I have as you can see, I have like a couple of HBCU topics that we're gonna roll through real quick. And then we're gonna get into the mess. The mess. I'm drinking Gatorade tonight, y'all. So hello, Mr. Norman J. White with the Go Dogs. Wait. Y'all seen that? How I sleep at night, knowing that Jackson State finna run through the SWAC this year. Did y'all see my little meme with AD Sykes picture where she's peacefully sleeping? Peacefully. Thank you, AJ. Nephew. Hey, bro. I am not sedity. No, it was summer. It was summer. My last couple of weeks of freedom without Braxton. He was with his pappy for the summer. So as I stated before, there you go. How I sleep at night, knowing Jackson State finna run through the SWAC. I'm gonna be sleeping real good at night. All right. Thank you, Dr. Kanisha. Yes, Leo love, Leo love. My birthday was yesterday, y'all. Yes, but my son, he had school and I didn't want to be selfish and send him to a babysitter or, have him out in the streets or at his grandparents' house. So my stuff is at the top. It's not SWAC Media Day, but my stuff is at the top. Birthday blessing. You don't have to, but I was with Braxton, which I would have it no other way. And then last weekend, just past Sunday, my great grandma, Braxton's great great grandma, turned 98 years old. Y'all comment in the chat, what type of press does AD Tiff-Dawn have, these men? I got one, panini pressed. Panini pressed. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Hey, Mrs. Scott, how you doing? We're going to talk about it too because, wow. This is a part of the HBCU community news. Jay White says that 2,500 freshmen, 2,500. Can somebody fact check Jay White? Because he did say they was going to win the SWAC East. 2,500 freshmen to the Hill. That's the largest freshman class in history. The largest. Well, if what Jay White is saying is facts, I am so sorry, Mr. Cartwright. Mr. Cartwright, I don't know. I saw that message, but I don't know where it was, so I couldn't respond. I don't know if that was on Facebook. It was not on Instagram. So can you send me the information on Twitter in the DM? Because I don't know where you sent that at. I saw that comment and then I couldn't find it. Demure silk press, but hard hot comb on the stove and Dax grease press. That's that old school press and curl press. And that is not true. Matter of fact, what's up? We can do it. We can do it either this week, this Saturday. Let me know. Got them pressed like a 60s conch. Oh, Lord. Hey, Nick. You're Daning over there hating because Howard ain't got no housing because they keep selling their stuff, selling their property off to folks. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Lord, it looked like one of my eyelashes is bigger than the other. I'm sorry, y'all. Mr. Wayne, I would love to come on that podcast. I'm sorry, Dr. Kanisha, but somebody told me that Howard be selling their property that they own, and that's how folks is getting gentrified around them parts. And that's why, yeah. I ain't trying to start no mess. Hey, I ain't trying to start no mess. I just noticed that Dr. D went to Howard and he is very vocal about everybody else. I'm just saying, y'all had, they said that space is an issue at Howard because everything done got bought up. Ain't no needing them rattlers coming in here because you already know what's up. What y'all rattlers coming up in here for? Thank you, Mr. Turner. Thank you. Speaking of which, let me shout out my alma mater. Let me shout my alma, because Jackson State is moving on up to a deluxe apartment. Let me see if I can pull up those pictures. So, Jackson State recently acquired a relationship with a apartment / hotel venture to house students for this coming school year. And I'm excited. It was nice. I'm trying to see when that was. I haven't been on here for so long, but I've been on Twitter yapping and running my mouth. I'm going to go to Jackson State University's page because I'm pretty sure they don't post as much as we do. So I won't have to look that far down. And if anybody wants to send me pictures of or move in for their prospective HBCUs, go right on ahead. But I wanted to just give a shout out to my alma mater. Actually, not true. Dr. Kanisha is clearing the room. We have one of the largest infrastructure strategic plans for development, but yes, it's DC. And dealing with historic buildings, and it's DC, but we are building. So how in endowment, number one in a lot of different things is letting y'all know we're expanding. And then Danon comes back, being that he is a architect / firm construction. He says Howard sold off Sutton Plaza, Meridian Hill, and converted the hotel into office space. That's between the two. Let them go and hash that out. Whitley came into the chat last night like she's the Secret Service for TC. And you better know it. Wherever the I love is, especially if it's one of our coaches, we're going to show up. It says Xavier, Virginia State, and Bama State had similar housing issues, but we straightened most of ours out. We also just closed on 4 properties. And so also Howard sold the land for developers to put private apartments on them. So, so here's the thing. There's a couple of different things. Does a school want to take on the responsibility for getting the housing? And what I mean by that is acquiring land and then building it versus either acquiring contracts with private apartments that takes off some of the front work and it takes off the time, right? If you are able to enter into these contracts with private apartments, they have to be up to code anyway. And you don't have to worry about waiting 3 or 4 years. And Dr. Kanisha said Howard bought up 6 sites on Georgia Ave, including where McDonald's sat. So about AAMU with housing, we had the VP of Student Affairs on our show Tuesday. Freshmen have room on campus, and we have contracts with apartment complexes across the city. That's how schools roll. And you know what? I think that for HBCUs, this is a great way to solve the housing crisis, right? Which is create contracts with apartment complexes while simultaneously working on building new dorms or renovating old ones. So this is Jackson State's. This is nice. Ooh, girl. This is all you. This is all you with the stainless steel appliances. Okay. Got a little meeting room in there. They got an arcade, Mortal Kombat. Them kids don't know nothing about the old school Mortal Kombat. I think that's Pac-Man. I can't see what those other 2 games are, but I'm pretty sure Mortal Kombat and Pac-Man are one of the 2. Anyway, it says Jackson State University is addressing the increasing housing demand affecting colleges nationwide with strategic initiatives. Returning students now have the opportunity to reside in the courthouse or Walt Hall lofts, both located in downtown Jackson. Speaking of which, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and do this. That way, when we get into what I'm about to get into, y'all can't say that I don't talk about other stuff. Now, this is not necessarily Jackson State related, but it is Jackson related. And that is the Jackson City Councilwoman Angelique Lee pled guilty to conspiracy to commit bribery. Prosecutors explained to the court how Lee accepted cash and a shopping trip in exchange for supporting a fictitious hotel development, which for the city of Jackson, you didn't have to really offer to buy her anything. Anybody that's, in business or works for the city of Jackson would be down to have a new hotel development in the city of Jackson, right? But here's my thing. Okay, first of all, for some red bottoms, not red bottoms, baby girl. You're such a beautiful woman. You can't get a man to go buy you some or go put it on Afterpay. Yes, Councilwoman Lee is so beautiful. I know she could have, if she's not married, she should have got her a sugar daddy. Had somebody, you can get somebody to swipe that card. Come on now, for some red bottoms. I've had a pair of red bottoms before. First of all, they're not comfortable. They hurt. Not comfortable at all. Come on. You done, and see, this is the thing. They went, you see how vain that is? So obviously, she's just a small piece to whatever it is that the feds are cooking up. They're trying to take down whoever and whomever. You notice that they're taking down Jackson and focusing on the local government, but not on Brett Favre, who stole millions of dollars in TANF funds to build a volleyball. And you're going to focus on this. Oh, Danon's buying shoes? I would have at least paid her car note and got those shoes. You paying, so you're spending $2,500? Let me find out. Dana got money like that. Okay. All right. So, but in all seriousness, basically they attacked her because they know she knows all the dirt about everything. I'm saying. Back when I was younger, baby, I love a pair of red bottoms. Now I have, I'm not into, I mean, I like nice things, but carrying diapers in a Louis Vuitton. Not now, but when I had my son. Oh, Lord. Anyway, yeah. Well, yeah, the shoes, yeah. I think she was getting a purse and some type of clothes. And she said, I need a man who gonna swipe them visas. She was hyped as hell. Girl, you know what? You get a donkey of the day for that. And they said she comes from money. Not you come from money. And that person had to be coming at her sideways. See, look at all these men. Look at all these men in here talking about you, girl. That's all you wanted was a couple of pair of Louis Vuittons. See, look at these men in here. You want some red bottoms? Look at Whitley. Whitley, where is she going with them red bottoms? I don't even know. Is she going to Johnny T's? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe it's upstairs. Upstairs at Johnny T's, ain't nobody looking at your feet. It's not really enough room to look at your feet. Dana's doing some big purchases. He's flying her to Paris to get those Louis bags. You know what? You over here showboating. Uh-oh. Mike James says swipe his card. Listen, jokes aside, she's about to sing. The mayor is in it too. Allegedly. No, I'm just saying. It was a joke. I'm not saying the mayor is tied to it. I was just, So please do not go back and say that I said that. Right. One of them hood men that don't care nothing about money would have grabbed her a couple. So I say that to say this. As Black politicians, power makers, movers and shakers, you gotta move a certain type of way, especially when you have a mayor who bucks against the system. And what I mean by that is the mayor kind of shook up a couple of things by the way that he responded to the water crisis and a couple of other things. And they had the trash debacle in Jackson where the contract wasn't settled and people weren't getting their trash picked up. So basically, when you know that you have people that might not be running a tight ship, you have to be careful how you move in politics. Because trust and believe, like, it was less than $25,000. It was not that big of a deal. Not saying it's not that big of a deal, but what I'm saying is it's a low level crime, right? You have somebody who's stealing millions of dollars. And, Mississippi is just looking for a reason to say, you see, that's why we don't send them money. That's why we don't do this. That's why we don't do that. I mean, she's looking at 5 years, and I have not heard a peep from Brett Favre. She's looking at 5 years for a couple of pairs of Louis Vuitton and the promise of a housing favoritism for a housing development, or excuse me, hotel development, which she would have probably, most people that are in power in Jackson would, favor a hotel development or any type of development without being enticed. We don't need to be enticed. That's just, we want development in the city of Jackson. Hey, yeah, 5 years is crazy. And guess what? Fed time, you don't get early release. You're going to do day for day. You don't get early release. I think they've started to do it. So, All right. So, prayers and sorrows and prayers. Football is less than 2 weeks away. I'm excited. I'm really excited about that because I'm going to be, of course, giving my weekly picks. I'm excited. All right. I'm going to show you guys these pictures real quick because I just want to say, I don't know, I don't necessarily know who is doing what or where, and I hope that it continues. But Jackson State had their women's soccer had their first season home opener. They played against Southern Illinois. And that game, it ended in a tie. But I just want to talk about how quickly they got out the pictures from that particular game, like same day. And they were streaming it online. They did have some technical difficulties, but so hopefully they'll continue to do that. But it was great to be able to see these pictures uploaded like not even a couple hours after the ending of the game. And then of course, Kendall Terrell is and she returns. I think she graduated last year, so she might be in grad school. But she returned for another season. And so, of course, she was on that team that got the SWAC championship a couple years ago. So yeah, I'm excited, right? Season opener. It ended in a tie, but it's just great to see the media team posting those photos. Hopefully, they'll continue to keep that up, right? So that we're not just getting it. Okay, this is what I was waiting on. Y'all ready for the smoke? Let me get my stuff going. Where's that? Y'all know what time it is. Boop. Mr. Ford said, drop the like. You're going to wait for her to get out of you, or you putting something in her books? Oh, no. She pleaded guilty while giving up, folks. She'll do 3 months. She is not doing 3 months. She's still going to probably do 1 to 2 years. The only way she's doing 3 months is if she ends up indicting all of Jackson. Oh, EA said 85%. She's got to do 85% of that time. Oh, Lord. No comment. Y'all ready for this smoke? All right. So while Mr. Ford is calling in, I'm going to just say this. I need about 10 allegedlys in the chat, first off. 10 allegedlys ASAP. 10. Dang, don't nobody want to type allegedly? All right, there we go, Dr. Keisha. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Ford.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
All right, all right. We were missing you.
You missed me. I missed you too.
Yeah, we were
Mr.
missing. I asked
Ford,
Doc
ready
about
to
you the
get
other day.
into Yeah,
Uh,
I was taking a summer break right before
yeah, yeah.
Braxton returned back into the fold. Yes. And you know I'm getting ready. Now you know I'm getting ready to get on down with the get down. You know why I'm here, Mr. Ford. Right?
Yeah.
What in the world is FAMU doing? Well, wait, let me wait. Before you say that, let me first preface, let me do my little journalistic integrity spiel, okay? I'm gonna pull it first. And the reason why I feel like it's important to pull it up is because let's get some context in here for what we are talking about. So my first premise is there's been a right from this FAMU debacle. People just been saying whatever, they don't know what they're talking about. They're speaking on stuff they don't know about. And you know what? I just waited a little bit until things died down. But I'm going to share this screenshot before we get into the nitty gritty of it. Okay. So this is a screenshot from VR Wilson. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but VR Wilson is a rattler. Ain't that Vaughn? Ain't Vaughn a rattler, Mr. Ford? I think Vaughn is a rattler. So let's read Vaughn's tweet, which gained 144,000 views, which a person would preface or base, if you're an HBCU podcaster and you know this man is a rattler, then you could base your whole premise off of this tweet, which is reports from FAMU are that FAMU interim president, Dr. Timothy Beard, asked for the resignation of the entire university senior leadership team. Leadership team. Now, this is a rattler that is making this statement at 8:35 in the morning that the entire leadership, and then, you know, then there was, of course, the link to HBCU, I'm sorry, Colorado game day to read the article. But because of his tweet, that is what started the debacle. So that's what started it. So how you gonna be mad that people are saying it and you the one started it? How you mad? How are you mad that somebody, if I wanted to, which I didn't want to, it was my birthday yesterday, and you know.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. But how are you gonna get mad that the world is saying the entire FAMU senior leadership is asked to step down, and it came from a rattler, right?
Right.
So, Mr. Ford, what do you think about interim presidents making permanent decisions for the university?
Well, if you're gonna put him in that position, then let him do what he got to do. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was a good move because when you come in as a new leader, you need to put your people around you, people that you have confidence in. That's going to be
There's a
loyal to
way
you.
you go about doing it, Mr. Ford. You do
Yeah, I
not
understand that, but I
every
still
single
think that now personally, like now, you know, I work at a school where there's a bunch of FAMU people, and we all talked yesterday when we heard it because I actually saw it on my phone, and then I went to them and they said they had heard about it. Now, to me, this whole thing represents one thing: either FAMU is getting ready to go to another level, or they're going to go down. They're not going to stay the same. Now, let me just say this. One of the things that needs to happen at Florida A&M needs to push to become the largest Black university as far as enrollment. That's number one. Number two, Florida A&M needs to increase the amount of money that they're spending on athletics to at least $16 to $20 million. Now, if they get the right person as president and the right person as athletic director, I think they can go back to the Gaither days when they were good in all their sports. Because one of the things I've been disappointed with FAMU is it's like there's a neglect for other things other than football. Now, they spend the money on football, but I've been really hurt about the neglect of the men's basketball program. Even though Coach Shoop is a winner, I feel like that baseball team is neglected. And the thing that really hurts me is when I was growing up in the 60s and the 70s, Florida A&M had one of the best track, especially men track teams in the country. Every year they would be waiting
You're
on
not
Florida
giving
A&M to come to the Penn relays.
Mr.
And
Ford,
so,
you not
listen,
giving what it's supposed to give. Like, this is Mr. Ford's street committee report, and you over here treading lightly. Now,
no,
they
but
gave the
listen,
basketball coach 1 year. the
Well,
board of
listen.
trustees,
If he proves himself, I think he'll be there. Now,
he's
if
gone. If he
listen,
proves himself, he's leaving.
yeah, but let me say this. Shaka Smart gave him a nice endorsement, and I'm a fan of Shaka Smart's. And if Shaka believes in him, then I'd have to believe. I'd like to see him, and I believe that he would do well. Okay. Like I said, what I think that could happen at Florida A&M is if they get the right president, get the right athletic director. I really believe that they could become dominant in several sports other than football. Now the baseball team is doing well. See, when I was younger, Coach Lane had that track team top notch. Coach Costa Kittles had that baseball team top notch. Coach Mungeon had that tennis program top notch. I think they can get back to that. I think they can
Okay,
get back to it with the right
I'm
leadership.
gonna put a little bit of context to the situation, right? Okay, so
Uh,
this is August 29th, 2022. The FAMU football team has written a letter to FAMU president Dr. Larry Robinson addressing the issues within university structure that have not been adequately solved. We, the members of the 2022 Rattler football team, mind you, Sykes was not there, would like to address several issues that are having an adverse effect on our lives, our future, and the student athlete experience at FAMU. To date, we keep having these issues within the university structure, but since they have not been adequately resolved, we released this statement to the FAMU Board of Trustees and Florida Board of Governors. And mind you, the other day, a young man who was on the team last year had a space on Twitter and he blew the back out. I mean, he just told everybody business. And you know that HBCU folks are nosy, so we were listening. Financial aid. Each semester, we have issues with our financial awards being posted in a timely manner. We reportedly told it's a new system. It's taking longer to post. So basically, players are having evictions filed against them, and that reflects on their credit reports. They've been having delays on access codes for classes, priority registration processes, which are mandatory for athletes in order to make sure they're taking the correct classes. Professors often do not allow us to make up the work we've already missed from not being registered. Dr. Robinson, when we signed our letter of intent to become student athletes at FAMU, we agreed to perform at our peak in the classrooms, on the field, and in the community. But how can we perform at a high level when we're concerned with having adequate academic resources and whether or not we're going to have a roof over our head? Mind you, this is I want to say this is Gaucher age era, Gaucher era. And then, of course, this is when they had the academic support and the compliance where 26 FAMU football players were found ineligible and not compliant because they were being told to take certain classes and, they weren't being told what correct classes to take. Summer school, a lot of athletes take the time during summer school to either make up classes or get closer to their degree while working out. And they basically said that they had to find minimum wage employment, and that during that summer, the administration decided not to provide housing or meals for us during summer school, and that would be a detriment, of course, for the preparation of the season. Mind you, this is all under the tutelage of Coach Simmons, and for some reason, folks think that Coach Simmons was going to stay at FAMU and not take the first job that he had allocated to them. Okay. Underrepresentation, underappreciation, like the list goes on and on and on. So basically what I'm saying is that the problems that were happening didn't just start with, or didn't just, fall all in the lap of AD Sykes, right? So this is the thing. Anything bad that happened at FAMU, the AD was getting blamed for it. Anything good that was happening at FAMU in the terms of athletics, it was in spite of the AD. She couldn't catch a break to save her life. I don't know, Mr. Ford, as many revolving doors as they've had for ADs, athletics does not have a stable plan in order to make that progression, Mr. Ford. You have to have continuity.
Yeah, but if you pick the right type of leadership, all those things that you've read can be addressed. They can be dealt with. They can be solved. And I have to reiterate what I said. If you get the right president, you get the right athletic director, they can go to another level. Now, like I said, basically, I still say the FAMU needs to increase their enrollment. Okay, the state of Florida has over 21 million people. Florida A&M should have at least 13 to 14,000 students. Okay, not no 8 and 9,000.
You do know that Beard is a DeSantis appointed plant, right?
What'd you say?
DeSantis. He has ties to DeSantis. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah, you talking about the new president?
The interim president, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, I saw somebody said that in your chat. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so that is dangerous waters, right? Very dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Waters. All right, so now I'm going to read the Tallahassee Democrat. I want to read the Tallahassee Democrat because they are a reputable news source, right? Folks be over here thinking that we finna go get our own primary resources, like we're getting ready to contact FAMU and ask for a statement. We're going to rely on the Tallahassee Democrat to give fair, balanced, and correct news. Just like Colorado Game Day, we're going to hold them to the same standard. Mr. Ford, okay, so one of the rattlers in the chat said that we are cursed with so many rings because they got a lot of rings this past season. And so people in the chat said a ring around the rosy, ring around the tub, ringworms. Those are the type of rings that they're going to be looking forward to with this new president at the helm. So one thing that they are going to get, faculty is going to get a raise. That's good, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Timothy Beard speaks to FAMU faculty. So I wanted to point out something. When I read the letter that he sent, he basically said, he insinuated in so many words that the board of trustees gave him the go-ahead direction to have all these people resign, right?
I don't know why you shocked. I saw that coming from the beginning. I don't know why you shocked. That's usually what people do.
No, usually they actually, if you're going to do a succession plan, you usually don't do it all waves.
Usually
so that
when
you're going to have one department resign, or one department or one figurehead resign. You're going to appoint an interim, then you're going to go to the next. And then you're going to. So the reason why Jackson State is not in the news for people that have been let go in the leadership is because the president doesn't put out, well, we don't have anybody in the news saying, hey, the president just told the entire Jackson State leadership to resign. Those folks are given their pink slip, and it's one at a time. And it's kind of like you're not going to see 4 or 5 vacancies all at once. It's going to be one and then you'll see an interim come in there, and then they'll become the permanent, and then you'll see somebody else step down, and then you'll see an interim, and then you'll see somebody else step down. Not all at once.
Well, it's just like when new people come into government. When Trump was voted out, you didn't see Biden keeping his people around, did you?
So when Trump, okay, so that's different. When Trump,
Oh, okay.
okay, so here's an example. Here's an example of how government works. So as you know, the president appoints, I want to say thousands of figureheads, right? Sometimes you keep them. Sometimes you keep that person there, and sometimes you get rid of them. So the president is responsible. Let me pull up that actual number. And actually, what happened with Trump is he would just leave the stuff open. He would tell them he no longer wants to work for, he no longer wants those people to work that particular position. And then the position was never filled during his tenure as president. Let me see. He appoints the head of federal agencies. Let me see how many jobs. Okay. So I want to say it's like almost 1,000 different positions that are presidential appointments. Okay.
Right.
A president is responsible for about 4,000 political appointments, 1,200 of which require Senate confirmations. Furthermore, they have literally a Center for Presidential Transition, which means that they have a plan. You are telling everybody to clear out their desk and you don't have a plan in place, and there wasn't somebody immediately placed as interim. You're
Well, how
getting
do you
ready
know
to
they don't
start.
have a plan in place now? Do you know that for a fact?
Do I know that? He would have said
Yeah,
it. He would have said, I have X, Y, and Z. These
because he
folks,
could.
you
He
know what
could
these
listen.
folks,
He could self
EA.
promote. He could promote from within and bring the underlings up and put them in those positions. Because I still say that, and I've said
That's
this
they're
before.
from the
I
same. Ain't
still
that?
say that Vaughn Wilson should be the new AD down there.
Isn't that
They didn't got to do
ruined
no
fruit?
national search. Vaughn Wilson can do it. Let Vaughn
Is-
Wilson be the AD.
Isn't that ruined fruit from the same tree though? If you're bringing somebody in from
He
within,
knows the lay of the
okay.
land. He knows the legacy, knows the history. He's the legacy himself. His dad was one of the top lieutenants for Jake Gaither. He knows what to do.
All I want to know from EA is why does EA keep telling me to get my facts straight when Vaughn Wilson is the one that said that reports from FAMU are that FAMU interim president Dr. Timothy Beard asked for the resignation of the entire university senior leadership team. Why is EA keep subbing me talking about get my facts straight? I'm getting ready to read the article. I'm getting ready to read the article that says the 4 people that have stepped down. But EA, you cannot be telling me to get my facts straight. And I'm pretty sure you didn't tell VR Wilson, who's a rattler, to get his facts straight. And another thing, this is not a political party. This is a literal university. These people that are put in the, man, y'all better hope that all that stuff from MEAC SWAC challenges is complete. Over here talking about, oh, we're just gonna get a that's what happened last time. That's why y'all didn't have all these kids cleared for UNC, because you had Gaucher who resigned before he was fired, and you had a term where stuff didn't get done. Why did somebody do that? Dang, how many? Oh wow. Anyway, so this is not politics. This is a university. Y'all folks are acting like the AD was a Republican and y'all are Democrats, and y'all, this is not that. There's nothing wrong with cleaning house, but there's a way that you have to do it, and you have to put things in place. God forbid that MEAC SWAC, the plane needed a signature, or a check had to be sent, or a credit card payment had to be made, and AD Sykes was planning on making that payment on Friday, and now nobody knows about it. And then what happens? They don't got no flight to go to Atlanta. You guys got to make sure all of your ducks are in a row when you just tell somebody, I need you to resign by 5. You need to resign by 5 o'clock. Well, do you know if everything is taken care of? No.
Now, usually, do they fly to Atlanta or they just ride the buses? Because that's about what, 4 hours?
Me at SWAC. Oh,
Huh?
I'm offended. No, we ain't riding no bus. We flying.
Oh, okay. Because I'm saying that's not a bad bus ride for them to come up here.
Why do you want folks to get on the bus? Oh, this is ESPN. Y'all paying for our flight. We ain't taking no bus.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's going to be a maybe, getting up here because, like you say, ESPN is handling that.
What I'm saying is, no. Those are things that are communicated through the AD, right? Y'all done told that lady resign by 5 o'clock. You don't know what's what.
Well, they got the Smith guy. Isn't he the interim for about the 4th or 5th term? Isn't his name
And
Michael
he's
Smith?
going to be
What's his name?
going into it like he's not going to know. Has the final deposit for the hotel been done?
I
Do
don't
we
think
have
that's
the
an issue.
food line? All right,
I
we're
would
going
listen, Mr. Bona. I'd be surprised if that's an issue. I don't think
okay.
that's an issue.
You see what happened with the UNC game. You see what happened with the
Yeah, but
UNC game.
I don't see that as being an issue. I think all of that's been taken care of. I might be wrong, but I really don't see that's an issue.
We're going to see. It was like she needs to resign by 5. Then he's over here talking about licensure.
Mr. Mona, I'm just shocked that you didn't see this coming. I knew this was coming after
Oh,
Willie Simmons left. I knew that
I felt like
listen, I knew she was on the chopping block. And if she
okay, but
wasn't,
what about
I'm going to
general
be honest with
counsel?
you, I'm surprised it took this long.
What about general counsel? You know the general
I
counsel was
don't know.
asked
I
to
don't
step.
know anything about general counsel.
Okay, let me read
In
that to
general
you so I
counsel, a
can tell
lady,
you.
is it a female?
Yes, it is. And why would you ask if it's a female? Because what?
No, I'm just saying, I thought I saw something about general counsel and the name sounded like it was a female. I don't know her. I
It
don't know
sure
anything about
is. Her name is I want to say Denise. Let me pull it up.
it. Okay, she leaving?
Mhm. She resigned. Here, I'm gonna tell you who resigned so far.
Okay.
Because if you really want to think about it, right? Because the general counsel, they've been not included, and I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but there's been a lot of things that they've not been included in, which would also include like Gaucher signing contracts with certain people without general counsel looking over it. This debacle right here with Willie Simmons and general counsel, and then of course you have the 237 debacle, which they didn't have anything to do with because they didn't get to see it because everybody signed NDAs. Let me name the 4 people who resigned. Now, mind you, he's over here talking about the rates of the licensure exams and the passage rates. But Florida State has a lower first time passage rate for the law exam. And they keep on honing in on FAMU. Their law school passage rate is low. It's low. And this guy is a Florida State guy. So it's kind of like, how are you guys? I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting for FAMU to increase that rate, but let's just keep it a buck. If Florida State with all their resources has a lower passage rate than FAMU, what are we talking about here? All right, let me tell you who it is. Okay. So During a media availability after the Wednesday faculty event, Beard refused to list out the names of the team members whose resignations he accepted. The Democrat previously had reported that he accepted the resignation of 4 individuals: Communication Director Keith Miles, Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics and Athletics Director Tiffani-Dawn Sykes, Director of Government Relations Danielle Macbeth, and Vice President of Legal Affairs Denise Wallace. Those are the ones that have stepped down.
Right. Okay.
3 women and 1 man.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Ford, they said in the chat that as long as football wins, FAMU don't care about any of the other stuff.
No, I don't agree with that. I think aren't they the number 1 HBCU state? Huh?
I was told it was North Carolina A&T.
I know A&T has the largest endowment. I mean,
No, they
didn't the
said
Princeton
A&T is
Review?
the number 1 public HBCU. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Don't they have more students than FAMU?
Yeah, I do know that they're the largest one as far as enrollment. And by the way, one of the guys was telling you that there were 2,500 freshmen at Alabama A&M. That is true. I read the article also. That is true.
Lord, please. So, okay, so do you think that Beard is going to be that guy? Because at that point, what you're doing is you're appointing a whole bunch of interim people, and then you're not even going to be the president yourself. So then you step down for the permanent president. Then you have to hire somebody else for those positions.
Has he been a president at another school?
Let's look up his resume.
Yeah, let's look at his resume.
So, Dr. Beard's professional profile epitomizes an individual who has fully realized his potential in education and community service. He's a native of Port St. Joe, Florida, an honor graduate of Port St. Joe High School. He did begin his academic journey at FAMU in 1980. So he is a FAMU alum.
Mm-hmm.
He has undergraduate degrees from both FAMU and Florida State University. He earned a PhD from Florida State in 1998 in rehabilitation counseling with a focus on higher education administration. So he does have a PhD in higher education. He also pursued studies at the Christian International Educational Institute in Northwest Florida. He commenced his distinguished career in secondary education in 1984 with Leon County Schools and as an instructional assistant. As a graduate student at FSU from 1985 to 87, he served as a career advisor and analyst. From 1987 to 1989, he worked as a disability analyst with the Office of Disability Determinations in Tallahassee. He returned to higher education at FAMU in 89 as an assistant director of the Career Center. So he's been at FAMU for a while. From 1990 to 1999, Dr. Beard held several roles at the joint FAMU FSU College of Engineering, including Director of Career Services, Director of Instructional Research, Director of Minority Student Affairs Instructor, and Director of Graduate Student Services. He was in 1999 appointed assistant professor of healthcare management and director of student affairs in the School of Allied Health Science at FAMU. In 2001, he was recognized by his colleagues, President Frederick Humphreys, and the university's administration as Teacher of the Year. In 2000, Dr. Beard was appointed by Governor Jeb Bush to the State Board of Independent Colleges and Universities, providing oversight for more than 300 Florida and foreign private colleges and universities. 2003, he became the first African-American senior administrator in the history of the University of South Alabama in Mobile. He served as Dean and Vice President of Student Affairs from 2003 to 2007. From 2007 to 2015, Dr. Beard was the Vice President of Student Development and Enrollment at Pasco Hernando Community College. Under his leadership, the college enrollment increased by over 40%. So I guess that's where you were talking about increase in enrollment.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to. At one time on the Humphreys, they were the largest Black school as far as enrollment. I think they need to go after that again. They should be the largest Black school.
I don't know if Florida's governor is going to allow that, right? With his cuts with DEI and all that other stuff.
Well, we'll see.
In 2015, Dr. Beard reached the pinnacle of his career when the Pasco Hernando State College Board of Trustees appointed him as the college's fourth president. So he has been a president at a college. It's a community college or a state college, basically a community college. He served in that role for 9 years, retiring in January 2024. In January 2024, somebody made a call and said, "Hey, we need you over here. Get over here now." They probably was planning on, I'm not going to say they were planning on Geronimi, but they were probably planning on, because I want to say, wasn't Dr. Robinson's tenure up in December anyway? I want to say Larry Robinson's tenure was going to be up in December anyway. So they probably gave him a heads up and told him to go ahead and retire so that he could come to FAMU. Dr. Beard, allegedly, this is in my opinion, let me make that clear. This is my opinion, that when Dr. Beard retired from Pasco Hernando State College in January of 2024, he knew that there was a possibility that he could become the president of FAMU because Dr. Robinson was getting ready to either retire or go up for renewal, and they were looking for a change anyway.
I think it's a breath of fresh air for Florida A&M. Like I said,
I mean, he definitely has a lot of
when you get new leadership, you're going to either surpass, what you've done in the past, or you're going to get worse. You're not going to stay the same. Now, personally, I think that they could get better. And looking at it from an athletic standpoint, like I said, I'd like to see them increase the enrollment. I would like to see them increase the amount of money that they're spending on athletics. Personally, I think they need to go to at least $15 million on athletics. Okay.
So I feel like Dr. Beard is probably one of those in crowds for FAMU, right? Because it says that they're proud parents of two daughters, Brianna Bell, who's married to Jeffrey, a FAMU alum, who holds a doctor of pharmacy degree from FAMU. And then Sierra Beard, who earned a Bachelor of Science degree in healthcare management from FAMU and a Master of Public Health from the University of Georgia. So basically, Dr. Beard is basically what you would call the in crowd for FAMU.
Yeah, it seems like he's deeply embedded in the FAMU family. That's obvious.
Should I play her interview? I interviewed Well, of course the board is going to approve him. They're the one that told him to make everybody resign.
Are
So
you talking about planning an interview of Tiffani-Dawn Sykes?
No, they're likely to
Oh,
approve him as the permanent president, right?
oh, okay, yeah.
So so I could definitely see if that's what they're going to do, right? If they're going to give him, because that is very powerful for a board to give you the go ahead to make all these people resign. That's huge. You just gonna make them resign and you're the interim? So he must know that he's gonna be the head honcho over there, right?
Well, didn't Obama say change is good? Wasn't that who said that? Was it Obama?
Well, they've been changing. Well, some of these now, this is the thing. If you're gonna change there's nothing wrong with changing. But don't be recycling some of the same old, because they just put it on there like, oh, they want for him to basically carry out their wishes, right? Which is, we want you to get rid of this person, we want you to hire this person. We're gonna see how doing what they want, if that's gonna, if that's the play to make, right? So she wanted to hire a different football coach. They hired the one that the alums wanted, which is Coach Cozy, right?
Right.
We're gonna see how that plays out. She hired Crary, right, for the basketball. They were adamant about not approving him at all, right? They didn't want to approve him at all.
Right.
And then they went and said, okay, give him a deal, but we're only going to give him 1 year. How can you build a program with only 1 year? They put that man on a prove it deal, and he might prove it and then get up and leave. And so then now your basketball team is in limbo for another 2 years.
No, you just go get Mike Davis.
Who is that?
Used to be the coach at Texas Southern.
I didn't know interim presidents could make all those moves like that. In some states, when you're the interim, you can't do all that firing. All right, so in honor of the AD, I'm gonna go ahead and play my SWAC Media Day interview with her.
Okay. None other than Coach AD Sykes.
I don't know why I said coach. I said coach. Y'all, it was a long day.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So is it okay to call you OBG?
I don't know what that is. I see the hashtags, but I don't know what it.
So somebody said your nickname was Original Big Girl.
Oh, okay. So they used to call me that years ago.
In Grandma?
We're talking like fresh out of college when I was a sports information director. So if you don't know, I started my career in sports information, and yes, Original Big Girl was the thing. So we're OBG. Okay, I'm tracking now. There it is.
I'm gonna just go ahead and because they were saying it. So now you know. So if you see OBG, it means Original Big Girl. Okay. And now you guys know where it came from. She was a sports information director right out of college. Thank you so much for coming on. I had the opportunity to interview Kelvin Dean and Coach Cozy. And I just wanted to commend you for, this past year or so. Can you talk a little bit about Celebration Bowl win, SWAC championship win, and you can go ahead and brag a little bit,
What all I needed was the prompt, because we brag different at Florida A&M University. But I'll start first with what you asked specifically about the Celebration Bowl and the SWAC championship. We don't lose at brag, so it was very important for us to put our student athletes in a position where we hosted the conference championship game at home, right? We haven't lost that in brag in years. But the Celebration Bowl was an incredible experience for the student athletes. But just personally, I attended the very first Celebration Bowl. I've only missed one in the history of that particular game. So for me to have gone, and I remember I was wearing a shirt that said the black of the college, the sweet of the knowledge at the first Celebration Bowl, and then to be able to go back.
That was Grambling, wasn't it?
So that
Or
year it
Alcorn?
was, I think, Alcorn and North Carolina A&T, right? So for me to be able to go to the inaugural Celebration Bowl as a spectator, and then in my first football season as the AD at FAMU, go back, participate, and win, and become the first woman AD to lead a program to a Celebration Bowl win was really pretty exciting.
That's historic. So
hold on, I'm not finished bragging.
Oh,
So
she said she's not done. She's
so
got to brag a little bit more.
We're gonna keep bragging. Okay. I mean, you prompted the bragging,
Yes,
but
please.
for the first time in school history, we are the home of 2 HBCU national champions with our football team and our golf team. We have 3 SWAC champions this year, and not only that, because our student athletes, I've always said my vision is for our student athletes to leave FAMU with a degree in one hand and a championship ring on the other. When the NCAA released their APR data, their academic progress rates, we reported the highest academic progress rates in school history since the data has been collected by the NCAA.
Oh, wow.
So when you think about the type of year we've had on the field and off the field, our student athletes have been really performing above and beyond expectations.
Right. See, got that APR up. I'm gonna ask a couple of questions in the she's throwing some haymakers. She's definitely throwing them. Okay, so which game are you looking forward to this particular season? Because everybody's for FAMU. I'm sorry. You guys are the SWAC champs. It just comes with the territory. Everybody's gonna be gunning after FAMU.
Well, Coach Cozy always says it's one game at a time. So I hate to sound cliche in this, but both of my parents are Norfolk State grads. So my dad actually played basketball at Norfolk State University. He won a CIAA championship as a member of the basketball team. I previously worked at Norfolk State University. So in order for me to keep my family group chat humble, we're gonna need to whip up on them Spartans. So sorry, Coach Odoms, but it's coming.
That's that MEAC SWAC challenge. Well, kind of MEAC versus former MEAC, right? Because FAMU was in the MEAC. But of course, MEAC SWAC, FAMU's repping the SWAC now. So my last question is, you guys have been on the road on like a tour, right?
We have been
on it. So how's that experience going all over the country?
Well, it's been great. And we call it the Strike Tour. So we're in the middle of Strike Tour 2024. We started off in Tampa, raising money for our student athletes. Then we traveled to DC. We did Jacksonville, Florida, Miami, Chicago. Tomorrow for our MEAC SWAC walkthrough and press conference, and we will be hosting 2 fundraisers in Atlanta. There was such a demand to get together with our coaches and also provide resources for our student athletes that we had to break it up into 2 days. So we have one on Wednesday and one Thursday. So if you're in Atlanta, join us at JR Crickets on Thursday night to help us generate the resources to support our student athletes. But the minimum ask every time we step in the room is $25,000, and we have had people exceed. For example, when we were in South Florida, the ask was $25,000, over $60,000 generated. So we are really excited that people want to invest in our student athletes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And this is none other than AD Sykes. Can I see you strike?
We're gonna strike, and strike again.
All right.
Did you hear that, Mr. Ford?
Listen, I'm not going to spend a second talking about, I wish her the best in her endeavors. I'm looking forward. I'm looking ahead. I don't want to go back to the past. That chapter is closed down. My thing now is, I believe that the best person for that AD job would be Vaughn Wilson. I'm hoping that this Dr. Beard turns out to be a great president, because I like to see Florida A&M go to another level. What is the next level? Be successful athletically in at least, when I say successful, be a perennial champion in at least 4 sports: football, men's and women's basketball, baseball,
well, you're gonna have to take away
and track and field, and even tennis.
Tennis.
Yeah, I think they can be a national power in tennis. And the
I
other
know that
thing
they have,
with
they have
let
to
me say
start
this.
all
Let me
over
say
in
this to these
softball.
you Florida A&M people. Please go back and revitalize that Bowl City Classic. You need to play in Jacksonville, and you definitely need to go back to Miami in that Orange Blossom Classic. Please do that.
So, do you think, okay, so first order of business for the AD, aside from making sure that they maintain that APR, do you think that is to re-enter the OBC?
To enter what?
Re-enter into the OBC. So like the AD after, well, of course they'll wait till after the Alabama State versus North Carolina Central. But do you think that the first order of business for the, do you think that is the interim AD Michael able to re-enter into that?
Yeah. Well, the main signature you have to have on our contracts, I think, is the president. You got to have that president's signature, and then the AD and maybe the faculty rep or something like that.
Are they going to allow interims to do that though? Re-enter into the OBC?
I think so. And I hope not only the Orange Blossom Classic, like I just said, I want them to revitalize that Bowl City Classic in Jacksonville. Let's go back to playing in Jacksonville.
Against who?
Whoever you decide to bring down there.
I remember Dr. Lori said it has funny smell.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville used to be a stinky city. It was a pulp and paper center for a long time. You know, the factories used to produce pulp and paper. It smelled funny. So did Brunswick, Georgia, all those places. You know, they did pulp and
I was
paper.
at Bethune-Cookman all those years, and you said that he was the best AD. What's his name? And he resigned after when the SACS accreditation, when they had to restructure Bethune-Cookman, he ended up leaving.
Oh,
What's that?
you talking about Lynn Thompson?
Yeah, what about him?
Oh, he's brilliant. That guy's brilliant, man.
Why they don't bring him on?
Oh, man, I wish. Oh, that guy's brilliant. I've watched him for 30 plus years.
They said maybe you should be the AD network.
Now, I would be a person that would, you know how the AD has a special assistant? That would be the job for me. I'd be the AD special assistant.
Oh, you'll be striking. I don't know if they want another Gremlin. I don't know if they
Yeah,
want another
I'd be
Gremlin
the
alum in the,
AD special assistant.
I don't know if they're gonna have the another Gremlin alum up in their ranks, right?
Well, as an AD,
As anything,
I
you
think we
gotta
got
be
a pretty good AD. Don't we have this? We have Scott, right, from Southern. He's doing a pretty good job. Because y'all sleeping on Graham. I done told y'all sleeping on Graham. I keep telling y'all, one of the most impressive people at that SWAC Media Day was that Mickey Joseph. I'm telling you now. Y'all sleeping on him.
They didn't give me an interview. Maybe because I said that he wasn't gonna stay. They didn't give me
I
an
tell you what,
interview.
y'all sleep. Y'all continue to sleep on Mickey Joseph. Mickey gonna have that program right in a minute now. Like I tell y'all about Mickey Joseph and Chennisberry, you better beat them now. You better beat them now.
Beat
Cause
him
baby,
while you can. You better
that's
catch
right.
me.
You better beat them
Like
this year.
Dion said, y'all better catch me in the spring.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, you
this is
better
how
beat them
good
now.
since all of this turmoil, this is how good I'm sleeping, knowing that Jackson State finna run through the SWAC this season. Return of the Kings. It says Mickey Joseph bought him 50 players. Ain't no way he'll have them ready in time.
Didn't Florida A&M bring in 50 players? Don't Florida A&M has 50 new players, right?
Y'all need to say these quiet parts out loud. Florida A&M bought him 50 players. Grambling
I
bought
think
him.
they brought in 50 players.
Jackson State did bought in 60 and went 7-4, but we haven't seen that type of translation, right? In any program as a first year head coach. So I'm gonna go ahead and submit your name, Mr. Ford,
For what?
to be the assistant AD for FAMU.
No, I would be special assistant.
Okay, so you're
Not
gonna
a.
be like a consultant.
I would be like an advisor.
What you advising them to do?
Oh, I could tell them a lot. I'd be a person that you turn to when you when you need some advice. Like I said, I'd be the special assistant, not assistant AD. I'd be special assistant.
It said Grand ball in 50 players and all their starters left to go FBS.
Like I said, you better beat Mickey Joseph this year. You better beat Chennisberry this year. I'm
They
telling
better
y'all now.
win. They better win some of their games this year.
Hey, Miss Whitley, you said I made up a run. Yeah, you're right, Miss Whitley. That's it. That's me. I'll be good as a special assistant.
What role do you think? Oh, so we're getting ready to name some people to some of these positions that be in SWAC spaces. So which one do you think would make a good general counsel? Who you think will make a good general counsel, Mr. Ford?
For who?
For FAMU. I was told in order to be in those type of high ranks, you have to be a rattler. So I don't know. Oh, Miss Scott, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Scott. I didn't even see that. Miss Scott sent me a birthday present. Thank you. I don't even know if she's still on here.
And by the way, you were saying earlier tonight you were talking about the mayor of Jackson. Now, always remember this. A few years ago, Michael Bloomberg went around the country buying up all of the black mayors, right? Two of them that he wasn't able to buy off was your mayor in Jackson, Mississippi, and the mayor here in Atlanta at the time, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure now. Because if you would go back and that was a program, I think it
What
was
you mean buy him off? Buy him off to
they
do
bought
what?
him off. This guy Mike, you know who Michael Bloomberg is, right?
He just gave us money. He
Yeah,
just gave
Michael
the
Bloomberg. He was
HBCUs
once
$600
the
million.
mayor of New York City,
Didn't he just give
and
us $600 million?
he's given out a lot of money. He's given money to the black medical schools and all of that. But anyway, this was maybe in 2020. He went off and he gave all these black mayors money, but two of them that didn't take that money was the guy that you have in Jackson and the former mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance
Why he
Bottoms.
didn't take the money?
Because once you take that money, you sold your soul.
So you're saying the HBCUs just sold their soul for $600 million?
No, I know that he gave some money out, but I'm saying when he was buying off those black politicians, especially those mayors, okay, two of the people that he didn't buy off was Keisha Lance Bottoms and your mayor in Jackson.
Well, they have, I think so basically what you're saying is it was a setup.
Well, once you take that money, you become a puppet of theirs.
And if you don't take their money, you become a target?
Yeah, you can become a target. Always go back if you get a chance. Put in your computer. It's called Operation Bowtie. And Operation Bowtie was put in place either by the Reagan administration or the Bush administration. And it was aimed at bringing down as many elected black officials around the country, especially the ones in Mississippi. Because you got to remember, Mississippi has the highest number of elected black officials.
Now you know darn well
Operation
they are
Bowtie.
not going to have information how the CIAA strangled African independence. Wait, I'm trying to find this out, but you know they're not going to have that. Hey, don't be putting nothing on my channel that's going to have them coming after us. coming after me.
If you ever get a chance, like I said, put in Operation Bowtie. It should come up for you.
No, it's not. They done got rid of all the information on Operation Bowtie.
They
So
did get it.
is that the same thing as black leaders versus leading blacks? Is that basically what that is?
No. This was to bring down as many black elected officials around the country, especially in Mississippi. This was, I think it was the early '90s. This program, it was acknowledged in I think it was the mid '90s when it actually was told what Operation Bowtie was about. But I think it was hatched maybe in the late '80s or early '90s. It was called Operation Bowtie.
It's not coming up.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look into that more, but it just seems
Yeah,
like
look in there. It's called Operation Bowtie.
I would think of it more so as kind of like COINTELPRO or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was kind of like COINTELPRO. Now, the thing with COINTELPRO was it was much more vicious. COINTELPRO was basically a white backlash from what had happened in the '60s, not only here in America, but what had happened in Asia, especially in Asia, in Africa, with the derailing of people like Patrice Lumumba, the derailing of Kwame Nkrumah, the guy that was in Guinea-Bissau who opened his door and the car blew up. I
What?
mean, yes, that was a leader.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what? They can have that. All I want to know is I'm trying to think of what is it that they're trying to get out of Jackson, Mississippi. So the only thing that I can think of is that now that they're not able to take those funds, the water and infrastructure funds away from Mississippi, from the city of Jackson, now that they're not able to take it over, they're trying to put people in place, like you said, that they can control.
yeah, without a doubt. Always.
Because it's hard for them to basically move mass migrations of Black people. Like usually in the inner cities, they'll have a lot of minorities that are impoverished. They're in like government housing. So when the government doesn't want to house them anymore and they want to build a development there, they can just automatically move those people out because it's government housing, and then they just relocate them. But in the city of Jackson, the state of Mississippi didn't invest in those types of housing for people, so you can't just transplant a large group of Black people out of the city of Jackson.
Yeah. Now we've always had what they call the gatekeepers. Okay. The gatekeepers were put in place to basically subdue the Black masses. Okay.
Lord.
Yeah. They were known as the gatekeepers.
So you don't think that folks aren't trying to gatekeep the #1 public HBCU?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, that's how this plantation is run. You got to have. You remember in Uncle Tom's Cabin, you have
Yes.
Sambo. Sambo he was a Black slave whose job was to keep the other Black slaves in place.
Right, and he
Yeah.
liked it because he had the power.
Yeah.
He
Well,
had power over people. So it's kind
we
of like
still have those kind of people now, but it's more scientific now. They wear the suits. They got political positions. They have offices, these kinds of things. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're still on the plantation.
oh my goodness. Uh-oh, somebody in the chat said Kamala. Lord. Now, why would you say that? Now, this is a great example. Byron Donaldson. He went to FAMU.
Yeah, he did. Remember that guy Armstrong? Remember the guy for the Republicans years ago? Name was Armstrong. Was it Armstrong Williams? He went to South Carolina State.
The audacity, the nerve.
There's a girl that's running around now kissing Trump every time she see him. She's a graduate of Clark Atlanta University.
Oh, the audacity.
Yeah, you saw her on television when he came here, right?
Probably
You saw the
paid in,
black lady that was kissing on him and going on.
probably getting paid in gift cards.
Huh?
Probably getting paid in gift cards.
Yeah, because he don't pay any bills. They say Trump owes all these cities. Everywhere he holds a rally, he never pays.
Okay, so I just had one question. What do you think before we get off of here? Because are you in school yet?
Yes, I am in school.
Okay, so let me ask you this real question.
Mhm.
We're gonna switch gears a little bit and go to political things and the political climate. What do you think about the current climate with Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris? What are you guys thinking, or what do you think, Mr. Ford?
She beats him. She's the lady's brilliant. Of course, she's not going to get any credit for being brilliant, but she's learned from Hillary's defeat. Hillary defeated Trump in the popular vote, but she didn't defeat him in the electoral college. That's what she's working on now. She knows she got the numbers. She got the numbers to win the popular vote. But what that lady's doing now, she's tying up that electoral college. That's why most of us up here, we believe she wins. But here's the thing. It's total chaos. Because them good old boys in the South, baby, they got more weapons than the United States military. And they've been locked and loaded ever since Obama took them black children into that White House.
So you're talking about with like the voting. This is interesting to me, is a lot of people talk about the Voting Rights Act and how it was passed, but they don't talk about how the Supreme the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act, it's like 2-tier. So one of them, the one part of the Voting Rights Act is there's a formula that basically goes by certain states that had a history of disenfranchising Black voters.
Right, they had oversight. That's true. They had oversight.
They had oversight, right? And
Right.
there was a formula that they utilized. So basically, if you're and these are mostly the southern states. So Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana. There's a couple more. They're states that had a history of purposely and intentionally disenfranchising Black voters. They were put underneath this particular formula. The second part of it is, in order for them to change any types of laws, regulations, districts, they had to get approval. What the Supreme Court did was basically they said that the formula that you're using is outdated and old. So they gutted it by turning it off. The formula is turned off. They didn't take away that you have to get pre-approval to change districts. That's still there, but that mechanism can't work if you don't use the first part. The House and the Senate have not redone the lines. Like, they're supposed to redraw or recalculate the formula, and they haven't done that yet. So that's why everybody's getting away with peeling all these people that haven't voted in the last 2 years off of being able to vote. Or if you haven't voted for a while, they'll purge you. So if you stayed at home for the last election, they'll purge you. It's terrible. No, Mr. Haynes, I have no desire to be in public office. No. Fear mongering. We got some Trumpers in the house, Mr. Ford. I didn't know I had Trumpers that liked my channel. Go ahead and make sure you
Listen,
that
you're blowing up. I tell you all the time. You got a major audience.
He said that
you're blowing up.
It's fear mongering. Mr. Ford, you're fear mongering.
Okay, good for me. Thank you. Thank you.
You think you could turn Georgia blue?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Georgia sent sent up a black senator, and they sent up a liberal. I mean, what's he, a progressive senator? Yeah, you got to understand, people. There are so many people moving into Georgia, okay, that are not your regular, Southern good old boy people, and they don't come here with the mindset. So yeah, Georgia can be turned blue.
I feel like so this is what happened with North Carolina. So I feel like our governor was going to basically put his hat in, but he had to withdraw because in the state of North Carolina, when our governor leaves the state, I want to say, what's his name? Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson would basically become the acting governor when Roy Cooper leaves the state. He's the lieutenant governor.
Right.
And so Roy Cooper couldn't leave to like go on trips and stuff like that. So that's why he didn't run. So that's what happened.
I think that you're getting ready now. Really, I think you're getting ready to see the demise of party politics. Okay, because Dr. Du Bois said we had a system that had two names, and he was talking about the Democratic and the Republican Party. And you have to understand, this is a capitalist system. No matter what you call yourself, usually you have to bend and bow to the people on Wall Street because that's where the corporations are. And they don't give a damn about you saying that you are progressive or you are a Republican, you're a Democrat. What they're going to do with you is they offer you that money. And if you take the money, then you are their slave. You are their puppet. That's why Huey P. Newton said that the elected official or the politician is nothing but a professional liar. He went the same way. He was just like whatever way the wind blows, that's the way he went. Remember, Trump initially was a Democrat. When he decided to run for president, what did he do? He became a Republican. Yeah.
I remember he did say something like they'll be stupid enough.
So if you ever get a chance, read Dr. Du Bois's stuff, especially that World in Africa, and he had a autobiography called what's it called, Dust Water or something. But one was called the autobiography of Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. But he kind of laid it out for. And the other thing that everybody needs to do is you need to go back and study the Bang Dong Conference. That was in 1955.
You done gave me about 10 different assignments. I can't keep up with them. You just told me I need to look up the operational bow tie.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it was GQ that carried that article. If you ever get a chance, put that in. Put GQ and then put Operation Bow Tie. See if it comes up under GQ. I think GQ is the one that did the story on it. They was one of the ones that let what they call a cat out the bag. But it was called, I think it was done by GQ. They used to do some heavy articles back in the day.
Now, you know darn well they probably scrubbed it. I don't see nothing about usually when you type in that stuff, it'll come up. They might have scrubbed it. Don't be over here saying words like that and causing people to come outside my house because I don't see nothing on here. Maybe they called it something else. Do you think they could have called it something else? So Mark Robinson, who is the lieutenant governor, and he's like a Republican, and he's running for governor. He went to North Carolina A&T.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these questionable. You know who else is a Republican? Dr. D. He's a whole live Republican. I wonder, is he voting for Trump? The Gary Convention. Is it called the Gary Convention?
Yeah, that's when Dick Hatcher had everybody to come to Gary, Indiana, and I think it was 72. It was 71 or 72. Keynote speaker, I think, was Jesse Jackson, but everybody was there. Amirius Baraka put
Jesse
on the show.
Jackson. If there ever was a COINTELPRO person, it's Jesse.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean,
oh yeah, baby.
And these folks be celebrating that man like he is a.
That's because they don't know.
He seen Barack Obama, and he was like, "N-word, that was supposed to be me."
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse was very interesting.
Like, Donald Trump is doing what he does best, which is acting. I mean, he literally.
Well, he's a distraction. That's what he is. He's a distraction. He's a distraction.
The last episode of Celebrity Apprentice was funny, though, with Dionne Warwick saying, "I got your number, hussy." What? That's what she said.
Listen, when I was a little kid, man, we loved that woman, man. We loved that lady back in the 60s. She had stuff like, do you know the way to San Jose? Walk on by. A lot of her music was written by Burt Bacharach and a guy named Hal David, man. We would sit up all night, listen, wait till she come on those shows. We just loved Dionne Warwick, man. She was something else. Oof. You know, that's Cissy Houston's niece, and she and Whitney Houston were cousins. Yeah.
So, Mr. Ford, are you gonna come back on Saturday? Football.
Yeah, I'll come back Saturday.
Football is back. We are 2 weeks away.
Oh yeah. Listen. I think that game's gonna definitely be a sellout over there at Georgia State. That Florida A&M Norfolk game. That's gonna be a sellout.
Are you going to that one?
I'm trying. I need to go. I need to go on and get my tickets. I haven't gotten them yet. I need to go, and I really want to be in. I really want to be in Tallahassee when them Bulldogs come to brag. I really want to see that clash.
FAMU does not play next week. Who said that?
They play the 24th. They play the 24th at Jack. That's that SWAC MEAC challenge.
I'm not going to Atlanta next weekend. Behold the green and gold.
Yes, yeah, that's brother Coach Dawson Odoms.
This is a
That's Coach Dawson Odoms. Huh?
This is a must win for Dawson.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I was looking at some rosters the other night. Listen, Jackson State's linebacker room is awesome. Listen, let me tell you who else has an awesome linebacker room.
Wait, can you repeat that again? Who?
Jackson State. You should see those linebackers Jackson State has on their roster.
I seen them.
But listen, also look at the linebacker room at Prairie View. And while you're at it, look at all them offensive linemen Southern University has brought in. Southern University has brought in a ton of offensive linemen. So it goes back to what I've always said. It's not the talent, it's not the personnel, it's about the coaching.
Who has the most complete out of all the ones that you just named? Who is the most complete?
Team?
Yeah.
Probably Jackson State. Yeah, it's Jackson State.
Listen, I just let you say it.
Huh?
So excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna take I had a lot of vibrato last year with Jackson.
Can you hear me? Mr. Mona, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think it's Jackson State. Yeah, with what y'all have brought in, man. Yeah,
Okay. What we bought in, man. So
y'all brought in some stuff now.
on Saturday we might have to redo them rankings, right?
We're gonna have to.
We might
We're
have to
gonna have to.
redo them rankings because it's fall camp is over. Football is here. The preseason rankings, they do it halfway through. You don't even know what you got for fall camp. Folks ain't even came up in there.
Hey, how many freshmen did y'all have to report this year? I mean, for the students at Jackson State, how many freshmen came in?
I'm gonna have to count.
I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about the school.
Oh, okay. I can pull that up for you.
Yeah, see how many freshmen came in. Because I did read that Alabama State had 2,500 freshmen.
Well, it definitely wasn't 2,500. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's Dr. Williams and those people over there. They doing a job over there at Alabama A&M.
So our new students of fall 2024 come together to form a giant J, about 1,250 strong. JSU welcome week.
Okay. All right.
I don't now when I say that, this is them. They are building the J, and our president basically was talking about how this is a very special class to him because this is his first class that he's bringing under his, of course, presidency.
Right. Yeah, I saw a clip where he was out there helping people move in. He was out there, helping the freshmen move in.
So, school is back. The kids is
school is
back in
back.
school.
Yeah.
Football is now that's less than a week. So that means we're definitely going to have a show this Saturday to redo the rankings. And we're going to start, of course, the picks of the week.
And by the way, CBS is trying to run y'all homeboy out of Boulder. You know that. I hate to bring it up, but they building a narrative on him. Your homeboy out there in Boulder.
What's his name, Mr. Ford? I don't got no homeboys in Boulder.
Coach Slime.
Slime.
Coach Slime.
Coach Slime.
Yeah, Coach Slime.
Basically, they said we done made up our deficit. We moved into another conference. We don't need you anymore.
Yeah, they definitely listen. He called himself going to take on CBS. Somebody needs to talk with him.
Don't nobody
money
need
you
to talk
got,
with him. You just let him hang his own rope.
Yeah, that's about what's getting ready to happen too. Because he's going to take on CBS.
He said, "Oh, I'm not talking to you."
Yeah, that's right. He ain't talking to him.
Like, whoa, what? Hold up, wait a minute. Yeah. Toes isn't our homeboy, Mr. Ford. That's yours.
Whitley, you something else. You something. Boy.
So I think, for him, we wish Shador the best, and Shiloh.
Well, one thing the media's doing, they making sure. Listen, they making sure that nobody votes for Shador for Heisman because they made that plain and clear. Nobody better not vote for him for the Heisman.
They was only hyping him up so that should show that Deion would leave Jackson State.
Yeah,
because he was doing too much.
Yeah. Well, One thing he's finding out about, the scripture says, as you have done unto others, so shall it be done to you. Oh, yeah.
Everything that's done in the dark will come to light.
Oh,
And last but not least, until you do right by me, everything that you want to succeed is going to crumble.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, you know what? Somebody in the chat reminded us that Dion had no problem when he used them for 60 Minutes or CBS Mornings and all that publicity he was getting for Jackson State. But now that it's not positive, or they're questioning whether or not he should still be there, now all of a sudden it's a problem.
He can't control the narrative. Remember, he was the king at that. He always wanted to control the narrative. He can't control the narrative anymore.
Can't be telling those lies, huh?
There you go.
They're gonna be pulling that race card so hard in Colorado this year. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Oh,
you asked to be up there.
Yeah, I really believe North Dakota State beats him in that first game.
If North Dakota State beats Dion, what a difference a job offer makes, because I remember when y'all were obsessed with him. You mean when we were
I loved him when he was at Jackson State.
You mean when we were obsessed?
I was really
obsessed with Jackson State?
You know what? Who is that? That's Go. Who is this? God saw
beginning and knows it.
Yeah, listen, I had a homeboy who was a graduate of Tennessee State. He told me from the beginning, and I disputed him. He said he's going to use Jackson State as a stepping stone. And I said, why would you even say that? Why do you believe that? He said, I know his homeboys down, because he had lived in Fort Lauderdale. And I said, do you know Dion? He said, no, but I know his homeboys. And he said, they already told me. And everything that Dion did, my homeboy basically told us that. He predicted the whole thing. How he knew, I don't know, but he always said that he knew Dion's homeboys. And they had told him that he was using it, the school for a stepping stone. But anyway, I think it's run out now, though.
Well, if he loses to North Dakota State,
I think he loses.
If he loses, he guarantee he's not going to be the head coach.
Yeah, I think he loses.
I don't know how he's going to get Shedeur and Travis to go first round if he loses to North Dakota State.
Listen, Shedeur goes first round and Travis does too.
What about Shiloh? Shiloh's going to go undrafted.
Yeah, he'll go undrafted. He'll be a free agent. But Shedeur goes. Listen, out of the top 5 quarterbacks, Shedeur will be in the top 5 quarterbacks drafted this year. Travis definitely goes first round.
You said Shedeur will be top 5 quarterback, and only
he'll be top. Out of the top 5 quarterbacks that will be drafted, he'll be drafted.
State, they win in 4 games, maybe 3.
I was about to ask you, think can he get 4?
Mr. Ford, do you have Twitter?
No.
No, he doesn't have Twitter, y'all.
No, my wife has it. I don't have it. My wife has it.
Oh, tell your wife to make you an account.
No, I like talking with you. I like being on here with you. That's all I need.
Okay, well, I need to make sure that I'm on here then, huh?
Yeah, that's all I need. That's why I was missing you. And like I said, I know it's time for you to take your vacation.
Yeah, I'm back though. I'm back.
Oh yeah, you back.
I got some stuff.
When that James Brown that said I'm back, was it James Brown that said that? I'm back.
I got some stuff on the works. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but show and prove and show and tell. So
that's right.
Stay tuned. So Mr. Ford said he's not getting Twitter. You want to talk to Mr. Ford and want to know
come on here. Just come on your show. I'll be on there.
He gonna come and bring you that good old, what did you call it? Cascade Road tea.
Yeah. That Cascade Road T. Listen, let me tell you this before I go. They had a black Alta tournament out at a place called Sugar Creek Golf and Tennis Center in DeKalb County last Saturday and Sunday. I was there. And let me tell you what I met. I met a guy. He was in his 80s. He was still playing tennis. He played basketball at Southern with Butterbean Love. And let me tell you what's historical about him.
Wait, who? Let me pull this up.
His name was Butterbean Love. I think it was Robert Love. He played for the Chicago Bulls back in the 70s. He was a star up there before the coming of Michael Jordan and Reggie Theus. But anyway, this guy, the reason he's important, he was the coroner in Memphis. He did the autopsy on Elvis Presley. Did you hear me?
Or no, he
was a coroner. He was a coroner, and he did the
Wait.
autopsy.
You're gonna have to back up a little bit because you over here done said Butterbean. I'm still stuck on Butterbean Love.
Butterbean Love. He was played for the Chicago Bulls. He was he came out of Southern University. I think in the mid '60s.
Okay, so who was the coroner?
This guy was a guard on the team. He was he told me his name. I have to find out his name again. But he played with Butterbean Love at Southern. They were teammates.
Oh, from 1961 to 1965.
That means he played against Willis Reed. If he played in 61, he played against Willis Reed.
Okay, tell me about the man who had the autopsy.
Right. That was a guy I met Saturday. He was in his 80s. He was still playing tennis. I watched him play a mixed double. He had a female partner, and they played another mixed doubles team. But anyway, I found out from some other people that he was the coroner in Memphis, and he did the autopsy on Elvis Presley.
And how did he die? How did Elvis Presley die?
He was a drug addict. He burst his heart.
Jerome said that we need a meet and greet for you in Atlanta.
What? Why? I'm a nobody.
Meet Mr. Ford, and we're gonna have the t-shirts. We're gonna have the t-shirts that say "Listen." We're gonna have one t-shirt that says "Listen." The other t-shirt's gonna say, "Don't you can't limit me." I'm HBCU. Mr. Yeah, and because at first we said we needed you to come to Jackson for a meet and greet, and you said, "Nah, you're not coming to Jackson."
Listen, I used to come to Jackson. Listen, you remember Rashad Anderson and Cat Morris?
Yes, I do.
I used to come out and watch them. I came out one year. They played Howard. They had to Pratt. That guy was named Galen Pratt or something. He was a quarterback. And we came out because we were, at the time, we just thought Ted White was everything. He was the quarterback at Howard University. And Howard University came out to Jackson and played Jackson State and lost to Jackson State. But we were, everybody up here was, at that time, we just thought Ted White was the truth. And I want to meet you too, Whitley.
Yeah, so we're going to have a meet and greet for you, Mr. Ford.
Oh, and let me tell you this. I met a lady who was a veteran. She had worked in the CIAA. She had worked in the MEAC.
Is this at the
tournament, at the Alta tournament out at Sugar Creek? But let me tell you what she told me. I was telling her something, and she said no. And this was, I was telling her that I'd like to see the SIAC, the MEAC, the CIAA, and the SWAC all combined under the leadership of Dr. Charles McClellan. And she said, no, what we need the CIAA and the SIAC to combine. And she did agree with me about that we need the SWAC and the MEAC to combine. Now, she told me that she thought that the commissioner of the CIAA was doing a horrible job. She said that the CIAA commissioners in the past were really good at getting corporate sponsorship and getting corporate money, but she felt that I can't remember the commissioner's name up in the CIAA right now, but I know she's a Hampton graduate, and she thought that she was not doing a good job of getting sponsorship for the CIAA right now. But she did agree with me. She said, yes, the CIAA and the SIAC needed to combine, and that the MEAC and the SWAC needed to combine. You know, I said we need to bring all the 4 conferences together, and she disagreed with me on that.
Yeah, well, I thought the CIAA was doing really good, especially with the tournament. I thought it was bringing to new heights.
Well, supposedly the sponsorship is not as good as it once was. You know, when
and
they
that
had
might be due to the economy.
Yeah, you're right. That you're absolutely right, because that's a major thing right now. And don't forget the fact that the American dollar ain't worth nothing either now. The American dollar, that's another reason we got major problems now with this inflation. Is the American dollar pennies. Because you got to remember now, the American dollar was backed by oil. 85% of the world's oil now is in BRICS. You know, that other economic organization with Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, Brazil, South Africa. See, they got 85% of the world's oil under their control right now.
Well,
listen, it's 11 o'clock. I got to get this to play. Listen, so Saturday night, what time you going to come on?
Me and Brax will be here in rare form. Braxton's asleep right now because he's got school tomorrow, but
yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
okay,
you need to be in bed. 8:30.
Yeah, let me get in this bed.
On Saturday.
Okay, Miss Timon, I've enjoyed it. And Miss Whitley, tell Miss Whitley I'd love to meet her too. And what were you saying?
She said, "It's blue in here." What did Blue say? You hear that, Mr. Campbell?
Well, let me tell you this. Blue is real high on this kid named Cam Peterson out at Prairie View. I'm high on that kid from that's coming into Prairie View from University of Houston. I'm really high on that kid. I saw some film on him. I like that kid.
We'll talk about it on Saturday.
Okay, listen, everybody have a good night.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night, Mr. Ford. See you Saturday. Y'all,
okay, bye-bye.
Thank you guys for coming tonight. It was fun. You know, nothing but a little 1-2 step tonight. I'm loving these ideas for the shirts. Listen, let me tell you something. You hear that? Mr. Campbell? That is definitely one of his favorites. You know what? If it's one thing I'm gonna do, there's about a couple of things that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lose a phone or break a phone. I broke another one of my phones. I just be breaking phones. Like they just come around every night. But anyway, thank everybody for coming. It's been great. Stay tuned. I just accept Wayne's his invite on Facebook. So I will be doing a joint show with Wayne. That'll be coming up probably this next week. Of course, I'll stream it on my platform as well. But we'll be getting some of that going before the season starts. That's Alabama A&M over there. And so I will look forward to seeing you. Thank you all for the birthday blessings. It's great to be back. And I missed you all, and we're gonna have some fun with football season less than week 0, less than a week and a half away. Everybody have a safe and blessed night, and I'm getting ready to go in there. Let me show you how I'm about to sleep. This is how I'm about to be asleep tonight. Peacefully. Peacefully, okay? I'm about to sleep peacefully tonight. Just like AD Sykes. Stay tuned, y'all. Stay tuned. What school, Mr. Ford? Mr. Ford is a Grambling alum. And Mr. Ford said you can't limit him. He's all HBCU. So he loves all HBCUs. Y'all have a blessed night. It made a big time, Willie. Willie! Willie! He gone! Willie! I just was thinking of that song. Since you've been gone, I just can't seem to get right. It made a big time, Willie. Willie! Willie! He gone! Willie! How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up to death with this. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I've just been abused out here today. God ain't pleased like this. You can't do the saints like this. Oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna sit out here till the police come. I'm gonna sit out here till the police come. I'm doing a refund. Cause I'm doing one to me. I don't know how, I don't know when, but please. How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up to death with this. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me.